hasn't come without its problems. It's when a bit of work has been asked of us to do, we've designed it to the best we can, we let them have a look at it, and they say, no, it's not right or it's wrong. We go back to draw board and do it again properly. But by doing that, we see it as an opportunity rather than a challenge, because it gives people the system they want rather than the system we're giving them, which is really good.
Working with the staff, develop a system for them, designed around what the work they do, getting them engaged very early on, so they basically communicate to John and myself what they need the system to do, and we try to work out how we can convert that into the IT project, into the IT system, and actually we end up with something rather than they've been engaged with all the way along, so there's no surprises. And coming up with something which actually works rather than something they have to make work is so much more rewarding. As John's mentioned, that just the effectiveness and the efficiency of the system. What may seem simple thing about not having to enter the same piece of information into two spreadsheets, just little things like that make so much of a difference when we're talking about an organisation. We've got 50 members of staff operating 16 hours a day, so it's really significant. Been very rewarding seeing them getting something out of the system, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
As far as the authority is concerned, what we've seen is an increase in our effectiveness. That's what the principal aim of the system was, to actually make us more effective in doing our work, so we can carry out our checks, our required mandatory checks, etc., effectively at that point in time. Secondary to that was the efficiency, and that's actually come along because of the way we've designed the system. We've managed to actually cope with all the increase in trade. Admittedly, this recession had a little bit of impact on that, but our support is still growing, and we haven't increased our staff base. We're still managing to do all the work necessary.
No, that's it. And there's also the links we've made between various other bodies, uploading our sample information to the FSSnet system, or downloading information from traces, or downloading information from our smaller sister project of Phyllis Online from forms that the agents have been filled in for us. It just means that people don't have to duplicate information more than one time. It's just cost savings all around.
And we have a wealth of information now, 5 years worth of database, so we can search that, generate our own reports, feedback to national and European level governments, help shape sampling programs, legislation for the future. Been very, very positive in that respect.
Yeah, and you see trends as well in shipments as well, can't we? So we can actually guess, hopefully within the next few months, we need some more staff to cover, perhaps because of a big shipment or something else coming in. You start seeing some more patterns coming through, which the old system we had wouldn't have done at all.
It's certainly becoming more intelligent.
Yeah,
intelligent about how we deliver the port health service.
So once we got Phyllis up and running, and that went live in September 2009, we've had interest from other councils as well. I think we went to Liverpool Council. They wanted a system back in 2011, I think it was.
That's correct.
And they've been using it ever since, and they seem to enjoy using it. And I think they're getting the same benefit that we've got, where it's standardising things, and they're getting a lot more efficiency through how the system works. And then London Port Health came on board as well. I think that was 2012, and it's really good because of the way they do things is slightly different to how we do things at Port Health Felixstowe. The system has incorporated some of their requests to make it a better system in general. And now with London Gateway going ahead, they haven't needed to worry about an extra system for it because they're still using Phyllis. And yeah, so it's good news both around. Yeah,
they're extension of our user base. So their structure of their ports are slightly different. It's different trade bases. So their input into the development of Phyllis has been vital. It's kept us on our toes and kept the system ahead of the curve, really, on the as far as imports concerned. And now there's three of the four major seaports using Phyllis, which is great.
Very good. Advice to any other council wanting to do a port health management system is to make sure that the information going in is completely documented and knowing the full reasons and why that information is needed, and then getting to know what information is needed at the other end of the system, which government bodies need to be reported to, and making sure that that data can be retrieved easily and quickly without much fuss. And in order for the system to do that, it just needs to be done in the most streamlined way possible, and just make sure the users are on board from day one, and so they're not given a system right at the end which is not what they wanted, so they could go back to the developer again. And that's why we do, I think, what's called the waterfall effect, don't we? Where we send out a bit of code, they have a look at it, we come back with feedback and change the system. A lot of IT developers tend to do the whole system in one go, and then find there's an awful lot of changes to be made, which then moves the goalpost a little bit and puts the costs up.
I think the complexity of the business is huge. So trying to specify everything at the first point in time would set out all the requirements would be very, very difficult. So from our experience, bringing the project in-house, admittedly we're very fortunate that we have our own developers, has enabled us to actually design a system around what we do for us, which has been successful, and we've managed obviously to relay that onto other ports. It was a bold move at the time, but very much the right thing to do in this environment.
Yeah.